All right, so this week we are out at ArkanSTOL, the ArkanSTOL Backwoods Challenge. I met Virgil last year here. He's flying a RANS S7, doing a great job at it. But he has a really interesting story, and I thought I'd share it with you.
Virgil, clear for the course.
Alright, so I'm Virgil Irwin. I grew up on a ranch in western Oklahoma, and now I live down in central Oklahoma. Last year I heard about ArkanSTOL from a Facebook group and signed up and thought it'd be cool, and then realized it was kind of a big deal after they ran out of slots for competitors. And so this year I decided, hey, I gotta be at that again. So we got early enrollment and got signed up for it. It's a great time. It's a challenging course. It definitely pushes the pilots to fly smart and fly well. So as far as airplane, RANS S7 with whirlwind and a Rotax, bush wheels, and that's about it. Pretty stock. Our other airplane right now is a Bearhawk Model 5, one of the new models. Will hopefully be up by December to January is the goal. So that whole deal started with my wife working in West Africa. And so we started in on an aviation mission there with a local mission, and so we're going to be flying medevac and personnel, flying for discipleship and church planning purposes, and really just about anything you fit in an airplane. So we went through all the different models of airplanes trying to find something that would work for us. We can't burn avgas, so we needed something auto fuel capable that could carry a lot and go a long ways, and Bearhawk fit the bill.
Since we're here at ArkanSTOL anyway, and this is a competition, I figured to ask Virgil his thoughts on running the course, and maybe like how he sets up before the turns and slips down into the other runways. So what is your kind of strategy for running this course?
Yeah, so off of the start line, the goal there is to build as much speed as fast as possible. So I'm leaving it on the ground just a little bit longer than I normally would. So I'm not pulling off the ground until about 45 mile an hour. No flaps in it while I'm going. And when I get down to the first strip, I pull power about 100 yards off the end of the strip and put it in a real aggressive slip to slow down. Typically I'm touching down about the middle of the crosswind runway. Rolling out and then turn around as fast as you can, and same deal rolling back out, no flaps, leave it on the ground and build your speed up. And then from there it's just a drag race down to the other end. Build as much speed as you can, and as you're coming over the top of the trees you can just start to see the end of the restaurant strip. And about that time you pull power, and I like to be settled down and on the ground well before the big tree line. If you come through the tree line in the air, there's usually some wind there and it throws you back in the air, and then you use the rest of the runway. So I try to be pretty settled down by the time I hit that tree line. And then from the tree line you have 500 foot of runway to get back out the other direction. Anything less than that and you're pretty close to the other stuff, power lines and trees. And so I usually give myself 500 feet to get up and over the obstacles coming out. And then coming back in, I pull power about pretty much the end of the runway. I'll pull power and start slipping it really aggressively, get down to runway level, and roll on and leave it rolling tail up through the finish line. So.
And just for clarity on the last rollout, if you will, before you touch down and cross the finish line, do you have to have tires touching all three, two, or touching it all? What's the...
So on the finish line there's a laser beam coming across that's the timer, and it is 6 inches off the ground. So as long as you trip it, you're good. I leave tires on the ground because I don't trust myself to keep it 2 inches off the ground. Right, so right. I roll through the timer and then get it settled down after rolling through the timer beam. So
awesome.
I got into this airplane when I had 25 hours. I was still in my private. I was flying a 170B model at the time, doing my private license. And so I got into this airplane and flew it pretty much bone stock for the rest of my private license, back and forth. I got solo endorsed in it from my instructor's place to my home airport, and so I would fly it back and forth and build solo hours while going over to fly the 170 for my private. And so I flew it about pretty much bone stock, didn't change a thing on it for about 40 hours, and then did some VGs on the wings and bush wheels and started kind of messing with some stuff. And they're a really capable airplane. I went from, you know, when I first started flying it, flying approaches at 55 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour, to now I fly final at about 38 or 40. They're really capable airplanes. Anything under, you know, 200 feet, you're fully capable of getting in and out of. They're cheaper and lighter airplanes. This is an old short tail model, so it's 18 inches shorter than the new models, but they're a little bit lighter than the new models. But performance wise, cruise about 100 mile an hour, stall in the mid to low 30s, really about 33, 34 mile an hour. And you know, get out in 120 feet, 130 feet. So they're really capable airplanes if you can find one on the market.
Hey guys, 1 second. Hey guys, you've probably seen me traveling a whole lot these days. What makes all this possible, getting this original aviation content, is sponsors like these.
Dynon Avionics at dynonavionics.com. Airtech Coatings at airtechcoatings.com. Airworx at airworxaviation.com. AviNation at avinationusa.com. Check the description below for links to these great companies. And visit our website at experimentalaircraftchannel.com for events, our video library arranged in easy-to-find playlists on specific topics, affiliate products, aviation merchandise, and so much more. If you like these videos that we are producing weekly, give that like button a click and engage all notifications so you don't miss a single episode.
So this is a pretty bone stock panel, but we've got turn coordinator, airspeed, altimeter, and vertical speed. Really pretty basic panel. We do have an FM radio because you got to have your tunes while you're flying. Got a good solid 10-pound brick in there to play my radio. It does have a Johnny Cash tape stuck in the player, so that's all you get if you don't have service. But other than that, all analog gauges and all original to 1996 when it was built, so gets the job done.
So again, at the start of this this episode, I mentioned that Virgil has a lot of interesting things going on, not only the airplane and being here at ArkanSTOL, but you're an A&P.
A&P.
And you are fully, I wouldn't say, what's the proper term, funded, sponsored?
I'm fully sponsored by churches and supporters that are interested in what we're doing in West Africa.
So he's about ready to jump into a really interesting, exciting adventure as a missionary pilot in Africa. And the very first serial numbered 6-seater Bearhawk, which is taking quite a leap of faith into Bob Barrows there. Bob, if you're watching, we have faith in your designs.
Quality engineering.
Yeah, we're hoping this one for sure is going to be a great performer, because it's going out of the country into some really true
middle of nowhere
bush action, right? So that's pretty cool. You can say that you have the first serial number and you're taking that out to do what you're about to do with it. But go into a little bit more detail about what the organization is about and how you got them to sponsor an experimental, because I've talked to other missionary pilots around the world, and a lot of times they operate with the same FAA standards that we do, and it's a for-hire, which means it's a commercial aircraft, and most of them have to be certified.
Right.
So it's a unique situation where you get to use an experimental aircraft to do mission work.
Okay. So we're working in a country called Niger in West Africa. It's a pretty unique country because basically there's no private aviation in the entire country. There's 3 paved airports, a couple more serviceable dirt strips, and that's about it. So we basically we can't burn avgas. There's no avgas in the country. We have to burn auto fuel, and we're not operating as a for-hire organization like most of the mission organizations do. We've partnered with a local ministry there that we really believe is going to be the driving factor in seeing a movement of church planting discipleship happen in the country. So we're going to be flying for them primarily. So I like to make the distinction of there's missionary pilots who their job is they fly airplanes every day, and that's what they do. And then there's missionaries who also fly. And so that's kind of the role that we fill, is that while we're not hiring out to other organizations, what we are doing is flying for ourselves and for our partner mission that we're working with. And the goal there is to really build that ministry up and to see churches planted around the country, see discipleship happen around the country in an area that really travel by any kind of other transportation is getting more and more hard to come by.
So the airplane is more or less like a Jeep for you. You happen to be flying it instead of driving it.
We happen to be flying it instead of driving it. It'll have people, stuff, motorcycles, it'll have just about anything in the back of it over the years. So.
Well, that's awesome. Where can somebody follow your adventures there, and if they wanted to help even sponsor you?
Yeah, if you want to follow us, go to www.maglobalmission.com, or you can find us on Facebook at the same place. On our Facebook page and website, there's also a number you can text the word mission to, and that'll get you set up with our video updates that come out. We send a text with a video link, and you click on it and watch it. It's pretty simple there. So we're open to churches and individuals as well, and if you want to get a hold of us, go through our website and we'll get back with you.
All right, well, thanks for taking the time to share your airplane with us and what you're about ready to do in life.
Yep, anytime.
Hey guys, it's the Irwins here at MA Global Mission, and we just wanted to take a quick minute to thank you guys so much for all the support we've already received. We want to say thank you to our partners who already agreed to run this race alongside us.
Yeah, so we're beginning phase 1 of 3 for our partnership with the Wings Over Niger initiative. So this first phase of partnership will go to purchase aircraft that will be used within the country of Niger and West Africa. So Niger is kind of an interesting country. It's only about 14% urbanized. So this leaves about 19 million people, oftentimes unreachable in the rural areas of the country. So what these aircraft will do is they'll provide entry into these communities for ministry personnel, as well as the services provided for the ministry. And really what it will do is connect the ministry in ways that have never been seen before.
Yeah, if you guys want to learn more about our Wings Over Niger initiative, you can head on over to our website at maglobalmission.com.
So as many of you know who have been involved in aviation, it can be very expensive at times. Aircraft purchase is expensive, as well as maintenance, and safety is paramount, and so doing this properly is essential. So we just ask that as you continue to look at this initiative, we just ask that you would realize that this is an investment that we're making. We'd love for you to partner with that. This investment, we believe, will pay off in the long run and provide ministry connection for years to come.
Yeah, so we simply ask that you would sit with the Lord and you would bend to His Word. If He asks you to be a partner with us, we would love to meet with you in person or electronically so that we can share our heart in MA Global and the Wings Over Niger initiative.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you don't miss a single episode. We'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.